Good to see you. So, I put up a story last night, late last night, after my video on Retronauts, my first kind of real story of the year. I uh, I started writing for Retronauts last year, and it's been so just fulfilling for me. Obviously, I've been a fan of the website for a long time and the podcast, which I also got to be on. And yeah, Jeremy, who basically runs Retronauts, he was here in Japan, and he asked me if I wanted to write for the site, and I said yes, probably a dozen times, very loudly. And yeah, it was a thing I started doing slowly last year, and now I'm trying. I mean, in a perfect world, I'd be writing something every day because I'd write something, But I don't have that kind of time, and he certainly can't pay me to write something every day. So at this point, I'm basically writing like one thing a week, sometimes two. If a funny news story comes up, I might be able to write something else. But anyway, a lot of the stories I write are kind of like, I don't know. The concept is a little banal. Like, this game is now 10 years old. This game is now 20 years old. But I'm always trying to say something, if I can, about whatever game it is. Anyway, this week's story was not one of those. Anyway, it was based on a Japanese blog post about what what game consoles lived the longest, and the measurements they used were they started with the first time this console was released. When did it first exist? And then when did the last game come out? Because regardless of, you can keep making the machine all you want, but if there's no new games, then it's like the period is ended. And yeah, it was kind of a cute list. It was written in Japanese, so of course I had to translate a lot of that stuff. But I also had to expand upon the story because this was a Japanese blog written only about Japanese games. So it kind of really didn't take into effect the longer tail some stuff had outside Japan. I mean, just to name, right off the bat, the Xbox 360 made their top 10 list, which is pretty shocking because if you've been to Japan, Xbox here is just dead. No one cares. It's in every store, but no one buys the Xbox. No one buys Xbox games. It's not even a distant second. It's like a fourth place. People buy more PS3s than they do Xboxes. But yeah, so here in Japan, the Xbox 360 lasted almost 10 years, which is really surprising considering how barely anyone owned one. I think in 10 years they sold like 1.5 million units, which is nothing compared to any other country. But yeah, if you look at America and Europe, there were games released last fall for Xbox 360. Dancing games, sports games, they're still out there. People make Kinect games. Why not? If you have a Kinect and it works for you, great. Believe me, I had a 360, and I had Kinect, and we tried it. We had to move furniture to get Kinect to work in my house, and it still was like, it wasn't great. So it kind of bit the dust. But technically, I still have it. Indeed, in this room right now, I can see two PS3s, both of which kind of overheat and can't really be used. The Xbox 360, a Famicom Duo that I got from somebody, an N64 that I got from Alex. It's Pikachu colored. Hi, Alex. Are you watching? I hope so. I miss you, Alex. And a Wii and a Wii balance board. That's right. This room's kind of the junk room. Everything that doesn't belong anywhere else ended up here. And of course, talking about dead systems, how about a PlayStation Vita? No, I kid. It's a very nice system, but honestly, it's almost dead. Like, they've basically announced we're not going to make any more games. We're not going to make any more Vitas. We're not going to make any more games. They're going to stop selling, making games for it. They might keep selling download games, but Anyway, it's a lovely system. I wish the memory cards were more affordable. So yeah, if you've been watching these videos and you didn't know, I love video games. I love old video games. I love the history of video games. Oh, here's another one. Look at that. It's a Nintendo DS. And it's broken. Anyway, that's it for tonight. I'll put a link to the Retronauts story in the video description in case you didn't see it. By all means, I'd love if you try to read the stuff I write from Retronauts. Again, some of it's kind of specific. If you didn't play the video game, it won't be interesting to you. But some of the stories I wrote last year, I think, have emotional resonance, even if you never played the video game that I'm talking about. In particular, look for my Bionic Commando story. I still really feel good about that story. Anyway, good night. I love you.